Hi, this video is from a client who actually flew in from Australia. He actually Sierra Leone client. So he flew half around the world. And he actually had a procedure done before. They say around 1,500 hair graft, but you see maybe 20, 30 hair graft actually grew. Again, if you go to the clinic or a surgeon who not specialized on black curly hair, the result is not going to be very dense. It's not going to be very. It's going to be very sparse and hardly any growth. On top of it, the hairline is a little bit too high. They didn't bring in the temple as well. This client needs quite a bit of hair. Unfortunately, they harvest 1,500 hair graft. I'm not sure how much more hair graft I can get out for him, but we're trying to do as much as we could. Again, he flew in from Australia, and the only reason why he did this to seek me out because I'm one of the very few surgeons in the world who specialized in the art of restoring black African curly hairline, and because I'm a specialist working with African curly hair, that's why the density tend to be better. You're gonna have very good result. It's very important to ask the surgeon or the clinic, have they ever done work on African American hair, curly hair, because African curly hair is completely different than straight Asian hair or Caucasian hair, because not only the hair is curly, the root is curly as well. And if they don't have experience, they kill most of the graft doing the harvesting part, doing the dissection part, and doing the placing part. And if it gives them so much difficult, then they probably won't put in all the graft as well. So it's very important. And if the clinic and the surgeon say they do it, and which is okay, you say, I want to see it. I want to see a lot of before and after, not just one client, but multiple clients. And so on average, from the mid eyebrow to the hairline is around 6.5 to 7 centimeter. And this client is a class 6 hair loss pattern, and his height of hair, because of the amount of graft that he needs so high, and we didn't have enough, so I left around 7-ish hairline for him. I like to bring in the temple because for any other ethnic, the temple is not as important, but for African American temple hair, black curly, the temple is very important because it frames the face better. Because you don't want to have a low hairline with a wide forehead and still look abnormal. If you can turn to me here, right here, you see I brought in around a thumb, and on this side too, around a thumb. So it's a good 1 inch coming in from each side, and that's almost an inch, and that will reduce the forehead around almost half an inch for you. And then once you do that, the hairline is going to be much nicer, and you can edge up and clean up, line up the hairline better, and we increase the density from the back. Now, if you have such an advanced hair loss pattern, some people make mistake and just say, oh, they want a coverage in the crown, but then leave the front bald. That's the advertise to the world that you completely bald. The great thing about black curly hair is not only the contrast is important, because darker skin with darker hair, you have better coverage, number one. Number two is the curly hair give you better coverage. So what we do is we try to establish the front perfect. And with the front perfect, you're going to give an appearance as a full set of hair, and you're going to always use top pick for the back while you wait a year later to finish the job in the back. But if you have no hair in the front, everybody see you that you bald. But you have full set of hair in the front, but then in the back, not many people see the crown that much. On average, you walk down the street, most people don't see the crown, unless you hang around with Yao Ming or with all those tall 7-foot basketball players. Then they can see the crown a little bit more because they're taller. But even if the back a little bit thin, you have some tiny hair, you can spray a little bit Topic or Kabuki, it blend in better. But the front, if there's no hair, you can't spray, or you cannot sprinkle the Kabuki or Topic, and then it will run off and it doesn't look natural. So the front hairline got to be perfect. So once we get the shape down, from here to here, 6.5 to 7, from the midpoint to the side is around 7 to 9 centimeter. And this client is around 7.5 centimeters, so it's perfect for his face. And then we work from the front to the back. The zigzag for other ethnic like Asian and Caucasian is bigger. For African American, there's a tiny zigzag because most black men like to line their hairline up anyway, so you don't want to have such a big zigzag. Then by the time you line up, the hairline gonna be a lot higher. Okay, and then the angle is more flat against the skin, and versus Asian and Caucasian around 35, 45. I'm very excited for this client because in a year later he will look different. He will get his shape, frame hairline perfect, and he will enhance his eyes, his nose, and all the features that God created. And if he opt to a year later, we can always start working on the back, or a few years later. Again, this is the art of restoring black curly hair on a Sierra Leone client who actually lived in Australia and made his way all the way to America for me to restore his hair. Thank you.